All right, guys, it is Friday. Here we go into the 4th of July weekend. Happy 4th of July, everybody. Please stay safe out there. If you are working, be sure to maintain your situational awareness when you're out there. If you're working on the street these days, 4th of July can be a very hectic time for us people out there in the field. If you're off, enjoy the day, man. Right? Enjoy the day. Get some fireworks in if they're doing it by you, but enjoy that day. All right. So I want to end this week. I want to kind of give a little there's a switch in my computer here. Anyway, I want to talk a little bit about that brain fog, or like I just had a brain fart, right? Especially when it comes to taking exams and the practical exams. Just want to give you a few ideas and tips on how to sort of get out of it, how to prevent it. When we're in that situation, especially with the skills exams, we get that whole flight or fright type thing, right? Or we're gonna fight it, we're gonna run, we're gonna stay. And our inner, turmoil on that increases our stress levels. So how do we manage that? The best way, of course, is preparation, right? You don't want to be the guy in class or the gal in class that's always kind of just watching the skills getting done, watching the scenarios happen. You got to get out of the seat. You got to get in there when they're doing the labs, when they're doing the skills practice and things like that. Get in there and get your hands dirty. Make the mistakes in practice. And it's going to help you go through the skill sheets as well, right? When you're preparing for the skill sheets. Sometimes we don't always have a lot of time to go ahead and do skills, right? Sometimes the classroom runs out of time. You don't have all the time to do that. You end up maybe not getting your chance to run through the skills, right? Get your partner, get somebody, even if it's somebody that's not even in EMS, let them hold the skill sheet, print it out, let them hold it, and you run through the skill sheet based on your memory and visualize in your head what you're doing with a patient, with the skills, things like that. The key, guys, is that visualization. That's one thing that I suggest you try to do as well, okay? Visualize yourself succeeding in that skill, in that exam, okay? That's going to help you be confident. So when you're preparing and you're rehearsing the skills, you're getting ready for your test. When you're rehearsing and you're getting ready for the skills, you're building that confidence. So when you get into the real deal and that parasympathetic, sympathetic things going on, you can fight the urge to blank out, okay, and let sort of the parasympathetic part of it kick in and let you go ahead and finish what it is you're trying to do. And again, that is sort of the preparation part of it. I'm going to share my screen here. I want to show you the skill sheet. I want to just kind of give you a little bit of an example of what I'm talking about here. Let me bring this up. This is the skill sheet for National Registry for Patient Assessment Medical. Now, one thing, guys, you got to keep in mind, right? There's a lot of stuff from here to here. But you get 15 minutes to do it, okay? No one is throwing you big curveballs on these deals here, all right? And listen, after doing EMS for a while, I would go into these skills, okay? And scene size are boom, done in what? 15, 20 seconds? Right? Think about it. Think about how you get there. You verbalize all this stuff. All right. You ask the questions about number of patients. You request additional resources, things like that. That's going to take you, 20 seconds? your primary survey. For the most part, your impression, doing your AVPU, any life threats, if the patient's unconscious, things like that, no pulse, right? Your ABCs. You're going to realize that in a matter of seconds. So you're probably going to get to about here in about a minute. That's still giving you 14 minutes to get through all of this. All right. The thing I'm trying to point out to you is that a lot of us get into the skill station and we start boom, 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 start rattling off all this stuff. For me, what happened to me once or twice, to give you my quick story, I'd be banging all this stuff out, right? I get even hit to the OPQRST, all the way down to here. And then I get to the history and I would totally go blank because I was doing all this so fast from experience, from taking skills exams so many times, right? Being in EMS for so long, that when I would do all this, I would get all the way down to here and then get here and draw a blank. And I would sit there and there'd be this weird silence between me and the instructor, right? The thing I'm trying to point out is that don't let that happen. Try to prepare yourself. And by doing that, it's either, like I said, being an active participant in the skills scenario so that you don't get stuck or draw a blank, having somebody help you by reading this, watching the skill sheet as you verbalize everything that you're doing and visualize yourself doing it, visualize yourself being successful at it, right? And here's the other thing. Some skills you can use. One thing you hear a lot of people say, right? Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. All right. Most people are like, all right, give me a break with the take a deep breath. I've heard that a million times. Thing is that actually works, okay? You get athletes that do it. You get military snipers that'll do that, all right? So take a deep breath. And there's one thing I've talked about this, I think, in another video with you're taking the 4 deep breaths and the 4 inhale, exhale 4 times, taking that deep breath, holding it, letting it out. That is going to help sort of reset you, calm you down. It's going to lower your heart rate, lower your blood pressure. All right. Believe it or not, it works. And if all else fails, you can ask the instructor, can I take a minute? Most instructors, most people that are doing the examination are going to let you, I'm not going to have a problem with that. They're going to let you do that. All right. Because like I said, you've got 15 minutes. So if you got to take a minute to gather your composure, now you don't want to go, you don't want to get up, walk away, get a drink of water, come back. You want to just sit there for a second, take a minute, just be quiet in your own mind, settle yourself, and think about where you're at in the skill, where you're at in the assessment. Are you getting stuck in history? Are you getting stuck in maybe the secondary assessment? Right? Resetting yourself is going to help you as well. So just a couple of little kind of tips that you can use if you get that brain fog comes over you when you're taking a skill station, especially the National Registry, we call medical, the trauma skills, right? Guys, know the sheets. Like I said, preparation is going to be your best friend. But at the same time, take some power from that skill sheet. Take the power from that skill sheet and make it your own by knowing that you've got a 15-minute time limit. Know the time limit for every skill you have. By doing that and by rehearsing it, by practicing it, timing yourself when you're doing the practice, whether it's on a mannequin in class or the stuffed teddy bear at home, who cares? The bottom line is when you can figure out that, hey, I can do this pretty smoothly in 9 or 10 minutes, that gives you a 5-minute window to space out, to have to reset yourself, to figure out where you went wrong, to go over in your head again. All right, I did this, ABCs, okay, I did OQRST. Oh, okay, I'm at history, right? I'm at history. I'm at the sample part now. I'm at the allergies, right? Medications, past medical history, last meal, the events leading up to the present illness or present event, okay? So take some power back from that skill sheet, back from the examiner, and know that when you're doing it at home, or you're doing it with your partner, or with a classmate, or in your labs in class, if you're banging out these skills well under the time frame that's allotted, you should be able to add that sort of to your confidence bag, right? The confidence that you've been practicing, the confidence that you studied, the confidence that you know you've done the skill numerous times in class without issues, and confidence that you've rehearsed it and you were able to verbally repeat every step on the skill sheet. And then the confidence, like I said, you can put in your bag that you know that you can get it out and done in under whatever the time limit may be for that skill. All right? Because when you do that, you can say, okay, I'm losing control here. I'm spacing out, right? I'm spacing out on this. So let me go ahead and take some deep breaths. Let me go ahead and maybe ask the instructor, okay, I'm not lost. I just need a minute. Okay, you can't leave the scenario, but you can sit there and take a breath. Okay, a lot of times instructors, when they respond to things that you're doing on the skill sheet, you might have an instructor respond a little bit differently than you're used to. That could throw you off too. All right, but just because their response is a little different doesn't change the scenario, doesn't change the patient, doesn't change the skills that you have to perform within the skill sheet to allow you to pass. All right, guys, I'm going to end it there. The one other thing I just want to mention real quick about the skill sheets, okay? Because I've gone a little longer than usual today, but I want to kind of, highlight some of this stuff. Is when you're doing the skill sheet, guys, don't forget, read all of the critical failures. All right, because you don't want to be perfect on everything else and miss something silly or something that's a critical fail. All right, so know these sort of things. Now, a lot of these you're not going to do. You're not going to forget to call for transport. You're not going to forget to verbalize or to take your PPE precautions. You're not going to forget to do scene safety. All right, you're not going to forget to do things like give a report to a unit, or to do something like this one here, order a dangerous, inappropriate intervention. The people that do that are the people that don't practice, that don't partake in the skills, that don't study. They want to just walk into the skill station and say, you know what, I attended class, I want to get a passing score. That is not going to happen. Those are the people that fail. And those are the people that end up, you see them on Facebook and every place else crying that they failed everything. They don't know why. The instructor's an asshole. That's not the case. All right. But if you're the person that's stressing out, try to use these tips, guys, because these tips can really help you when it comes to studying, preparing for the exam. Okay. And guys, this works for the written exam as well. There's a little bit different techniques you can use for a written test, but it works for the written just as much as the skills. All right, so give them a shot, guys. Take a deep breath, and if you got to take a minute, take a minute. But preparation is going to be your number one weapon, I should say, when it comes to taking these skills. All right, I'm going to end it there. Willie, I did see you in the chat. I appreciate you giving me a quick shout out there. Guys, please hit the like button. Let me know you're getting a little bit of value from this video. I really appreciate it. Go to myturbomedic.com, myturbomedic.com. Sign up for a free membership there as an insider. Okay, and don't forget, guys, wrong way. Don't forget, support the code GREEN. All right. We all need a little help, guys. All right. That's it for me. As always, I'm Jim Hoffman from EMSSEO.com. Stay safe.